Do more choices make us happier? I have always questioned this. Hi, this is me, Jyotika Bedi, founder of Happiness is Love. One of the biggest dogmas runs like this. If you want to maximize your happiness, the best way to achieve it is to maximize our freedom. This is because freedom is in and of itself something valuable, worthwhile, and essential to every single one of us. Sounds logical, doesn't it? When we have the freedom, we can use it to do things that maximize our own happiness, our well-being, and our peace of mind. We're not taking orders from anyone, and no one needs to make decisions on our behalf. And the way to maximize the freedom is to maximize choice. You got that right. Most people want to make more money, not because they want the cold, harsh cash, but because money actually brings them more freedom. It brings more freedom into our lives. The more choices we have, the more freedom we have. The more freedom we have, the happier we are. No one ever really questioned this. The top goals most people have today are certainly not job security, nor stable relationships and a happy family. Most people that I've encountered in my professional experience, they want the freedom to choose how they spend their lives on their own terms. Indeed, we are bombarded by endless choices. There are more than 100 degree programs to choose from in a wide range of colleges and universities today. Isn't that true? Our smartphones come with billions of downloadable applications. When we walk into a grocery store, we have hundreds of different salad dressings to choose from. All of them should make us happier, since more choice means happier existence. This belief is heavily and deeply embedded in our day-to-day lives. But does more choice really lead to happiness? I want you to stop, I want you to pause and think. The negative side of more freedom. I'm not suggesting that more choice and freedom are bad for us. Please do not get me wrong. There is no argument regarding how having more choice changes our world positively. We have all experienced the feeling of happiness that comes with increased freedom. So, let's dive right into the negative impact that more choice creates in our lives. Number one, too many choices makes choosing itself very difficult. Just imagine what would happen if Apple actually launched 100 different models of iPhone in a year. The sales will definitely drop, and you know why? Because there are so many models to choose from. It would make it incredibly hard for all of us to finalize the decision and actually pick one. Imagine. So the problem is not about the iPhone's quality here, but the hassle customers need to go through to make the right choice for themselves. The more choice we have, the harder it is for us to choose. And most people will simply walk away due to the difficulty of making a decision. The best example is seen in the majority of startup failures today. Most startup failures aren't caused by the lack of resources or motivation or market size, but a lack of focus on the part of the founding team. Smart people with great ideas and endless resources have more choice, which is not always a good thing. In this case, more choice produces procrastination and distraction, which leads to a loss of focus on the most important matters at the moment. Number two, more choices naturally leads to more comparison and dissatisfaction. Now you have 5 oranges to choose from. One of them is the best orange you will ever have in the world, let's say. And this is the only chance for you to have that. If you miss it, you will never be able to get your hand on the world's tastiest orange in your life ever. How does that make you feel? More choice produces higher expectations for each and every option that we have. We now know there is a world's tastiest orange out of the 5, but our brain will assume that all 5 are the tastiest. Even if we don't think so, rationally and logically we assume we should pick the tastiest one, and we cannot accept anything less than that. But even if you're incredibly lucky to pick the best, you might think it's not perfect, because you can never know what the other 4 oranges really taste like or tasted like. So the opportunity cost of the other oranges really, what does it do? It really leads to dissatisfaction in us. This happens a lot in many areas of our lives. Some people will think their spouse is not the best because there is always a better one, even if their spouse is actually the best one for them, and we all have our flaws. Eliminate options and choices. The solution to this problem to me is very clear. We must first stop believing in the dogma we adhere to so much. More choice does lead to more happiness up to a certain point, but it's never linear. After a certain point, it's clear that given increasing choices, we become more miserable. We need to trim down the choices we have by simply prioritizing. And here are a few examples that you can implement in your life, just like I am trying to. And there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Focus only on one business idea or career goal. Put all your efforts, time and energy and headspace towards building that up first before you hop to the next. And I've done this too, I'm guilty of the same. Remove other productivity apps on your smartphone. You only need one. In fact, you need a pocket-sized notebook and a pen, and believe me, it's very powerful and effective. Be content with what you have and who you are. I know this is hard. Appreciate the good in your marriage. Make an effort to see the good in your spouse, in your co-worker, in your friend, and focus on giving more than just receiving. Set only one fitness goal. You can't build mass, cut fat, boost strength, improve endurance, and train for mobility all at the same time, one step at a time. Niche down your targeted market when you're crafting your marketing strategy or campaign so that you can provide what your customers really need and talk to them using their language that will resonate with them. If you have made a choice before for your career, your relationship, or finance, focus on the choice you've already made. Stop comparing your decisions with other alternatives. Instead, focus on what you decided before and make the most of it, the best of it. The fish and the aquarium. We are like a fish in an aquarium. I'd like to give this analogy. The size of the aquarium dictates the freedom we have, and some of us see it as our constraints. To grow, we need a bigger aquarium. Unfortunately, what most people are trying to do is to break the aquarium. Without it, you're a dead fish. With the advancement of technology today, limitless choices have been opened to us. Thus, we want to believe that we could have limitless freedom so we can be happier. However, limitless freedom is never going to serve us. It's never a good thing. Yes, we do need some freedom to expand and grow, but without limits, without constraints, we will have no direction, no standard, no plan of action, and certainly no happiness. How to really then know if you are making the right choice is a question that might be popping in your head. We all face big decisions from time to time. When contemplating a career change, deciding to start a family, or grappling with any other big decision, it can be difficult to know which path to choose. Things would be a whole lot easier if you had a crystal ball to help you with those decisions, right? I would think so too. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way. Instead, the real way to determine how to know that you are making the right choice, the right decision, is a bit tricky. It's a bit complicated, isn't it? It involves a whole lot of self-reflection, self-introspection, even some risk-taking, which can be very, very scary and overwhelming. I feel you, you're not alone. However, it can be exhilarating. Your choices are your own, which means the possibilities are endless. You can do what you want and be who you want to be if you give yourself that permission, if you allow yourself only then. While you can't wave a magic wand to make those hard choices for you, you can use these tips below, which I want to share with you, to get a clearer sense of whether you are making the right decision. So are you ready? This is something that I share with my clients and I'm trying to practice as well. Let's dive in. You are the only person who can truly know what's best for you. Let's put it out there first. These strategies can help you determine whether you're going down a path that resonates with what you truly want. Listen to your gut. There's something to be said for trusting your own gut. This is traditional wisdom. Oftentimes, the little voice in your head is reminding you what feels right for you. Things like overthinking, comparing yourself to others, and input from others can make that little quieter than usual. However, if something deep inside you is telling you that you're making the right decision, it's worth trusting it. The same can be said for when you get a nagging feeling that you're choosing the wrong thing. Maybe you feel pressured into making a certain choice that just doesn't feel right for you. That's completely valid too, and I want you to know that. Spend time reflecting on your values. Listening to your gut can be easier said than done, especially when that little voice in our head is more of a whisper. Taking time to just pause, reflect on what's truly important to you can help make it louder. Things like prayer, meditation, journaling, art, and time spent in nature are just excellent tools for just stopping, pausing, and reflecting. Use whatever makes sense to you, even if it's not listed here. The goal really is to get out of your head. Once you've decided that this quiet time to yourself, think about what you truly value. Is it this connection? Is it adventure, authenticity, or expression? Whatever it is, think about how your decision either supports or goes against your value. Imagine both kinds of what ifs. If it can be hard to break this cycle of self-doubt once it settles in, because we think of worst case scenario most of the times. While it's natural to consider possible outcomes of any given decision, you may not realize that your mind tends to focus more on the negative rather than the positive, and that's why you have to do the hard work of training your mind to also see the good, the bright, the sunny. If this is the case for you, I need you to challenge yourself to explore some positives. What ifs, for example, if your mind keeps asking, what if I hate the new city I'm moving to? For example, gently let yourself entertain this question. What if I love it? What if I learn so much? What if I grow? What if I make tons of new friends? What if I just love exploring my new neighborhood? How will this thought make you feel? Better or worse? Zoom out the lens on your life. When you're grappling with a tough choice, it can feel all-consuming. While it's important to carefully consider decisions, especially big ones, you also run the risk of overthinking. Becoming too absorbed with your thoughts about your situation can paralyze you from taking any action. If you feel like you're drowning in anxious thoughts about your decisions, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Gently take a step back. Zoom out the lens on your life. Remind yourself that this choice is just one of many you will make and have made throughout the course of your life. Very important to remind yourself. Even though it may not feel like it at the moment, this decision will not make or break your life. It will be what you make of it. Consider the advice you'd give a friend. Things always feel different when they're happening directly to us. In this case, it can be useful to imagine the advice you'd give a friend. If the roles were reversed, what would you say? How would you make your friend feel? How to know that you are making the right decision? If a friend was going through the same situation, how would you truly support them in making the right choice? I want you to stop, pause, think. You can even note it down. Would you think that they are doing the right thing for themselves? What would you think? What would you say? What would you do? Have you ever been paralyzed by too many choices? Share in the comment below how you made your decision. Did it really serve you? I would love to hear from you. And if you are struggling, you are not alone. We are here for you. We care and we are here. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring. Stay tuned for more.